All right, Danny. The stream and the computer says that we are live.
Awesome.
How are you today?
Doing really well.
Great.
Trying to stay positive with all this chaos going on.
Stay positive. I've known you for almost a year now, and I've never not seen you positive. So I don't know what that looks like for you, but you're always positive. What are you talking about? Trying to stay positive. You're always positive. I appreciate that. Um,
Appreciate that.
and you said the wife and the kids are doing kid are doing well, right?
They're doing really well. My daughter doesn't really know what's going on, so she's enjoying life.
Oh yeah, a lot of the kids are like living their best lives right now.
Yeah,
It's like at least the school age kids. It's like it's summertime every day for them, and even though they're still in school and doing classes and stuff like that, it just seems like a break, like some kind of recess.
very true.
Yeah, yeah. And so Danny, we'll get started in about I don't know another minute or so. But I really appreciate you taking the time out today to speak with us, and it's been really cool to get a chance to for us at Fortis Mortgage to get a chance to know you because as you know when we started our business, for me it was like super important for me not to try to handle IT and to set up email and all that kind of stuff, and just to really make sure that we were secure, just because we deal with sensitive information and just the way that we're trying to wanting to scale our business in the future requires that we have certain standards and policies and procedures in place, and thankfully your guy called one day. I forget. I know his face. I just forget his name. I apologize.
Ryan. Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan for reaching out to me. Um, one of the best phone calls that I received since starting this business, and obviously we got connected through you, and you've helped us tremendously. And so we'll kind of get into a little bit of that later. Um, but to get started, why don't you'll probably do a better job at introducing yourself than I will. So just if you can tell us who you are and what you do.
Of course. Well, first of all, Shawn, thanks for the opportunity. Like you said, like it's not easy to trust somebody in your business, especially with your information. So I appreciate the opportunity you have given us, um, and growing together on this partnership. My name is Danny. I'm the founder and CEO of T-Squared Technologies. We are a IT support service company. We're mainly focused with small business owners and small businesses. You could be as small as one employee to 100 employees. Um, the reason why I started T Squared back in 2014, um, I was previously in different technology companies. And what I've noticed was these technologies companies were focusing in bigger organizations, 150 employees plus, but they forgot about the small businesses, the people that actually need technology help. Because me as a small business owner, there is just so much stuff, so many moving parts to having your own business,
Yeah,
and a big part of it is technology. If you don't really have technology really working for your business, it's going to be tough for your business and for you to grow. So yeah, we started T Squared 2014. Just like any small business owner, I wasn't sure what I was doing. I wasn't sure if I was gonna if this was really gonna make it. Um, but just started. And throughout the years, I found that I had something really that clients kept talking about our services, and that was just that I was letting them handle their business, handle what they love, and they don't even have to worry about the technology. Um, so yeah, that's how it all started. And come 2020, we keep growing and going from there.
Right, right. No, that's good to hear. So, Danny, on this stream here, there are are lots of people like that we want to help. So, you know, through the COVID experience that we've had, every single week, every Thursday at 2 o'clock, I've been coming on and sharing the relationships that we built, sharing information with our clients, and sharing information with folks in our network. And so, the mix of folks that would be listening today and watching will be business owners, small businesses, even large businesses. For some of the folks that are on LinkedIn, but also some consumers, like folks that are our clients that don't necessarily own businesses. And so, one of the biggest reason why I wanted you to come on today and help us out is I know for a fact during this experience that um, I call it attack. We're sort of being attacked. There are folks out there in the cyber world. I just called them cyber bullies earlier when we were talking, that are trying to infiltrate and get into our systems, right? And so I wanted you to talk a little bit about like what's going on. So number one, and then then we want to get into like your security, like protecting your security. And we talked about the 3 steps to protect. And so can let's just get started. Like number one step you had mentioned to me before is identifying the issue. And so can you speak to us a bit about that on like how to start with protecting your systems? And I'm speaking email specifically because I think that's probably where most of the traffic is coming from, right?
Exactly, Shawn. Yeah, you're very tech savvy, so you know what's going on out there. But yeah, there's so much to do with security. But as a small business or a consumer, the main point of attack is email system, because that's that's what we use on a daily basis. If there was no email, like, we wouldn't be that busy. um, it's basically like our main system. So bad people out there, they know that, email systems are where it's at, and that's why there's so much uh, attacks and stuff like that through emails. So yeah, so one
So
of
like what
the
what are some of the flaws? I apologize. I didn't really frame that question correctly. What are some of the flaws that we're seeing that we need to identify? Like I know
so
you talked to me before about like malware and phishing and stuff. Like what are some of those?
yeah, so the top email issues are, you're either going to have like a spoof email. A spoof email is basically an email that you get from somebody that tries to act as somebody else. So if you're getting an email from, let's say, Microsoft, that it's asking you to change your password. Microsoft doesn't really contact you to change your password. So that's basically like an example of like a spoof email. It's basically what they're trying to do is trying to steal your email or password, um, so that they can get into the your email system and run all these attacks. So that's one of them. The other one is a phishing email. So a phishing email is, let's say, one of your employees got an email from you, but it's actually not you. It probably says Shawn Williams, but if you look at the actual email address, it could be like gibberish. It could be just any email that's not really coming from you. And what they're trying to do with these types of emails is they're trying to either make you wire money. That's like one of the examples. A boss is asking one of the accounting people, "Hey, I need $10,000 wired today," and if the email sounds like you got to take action right away, they're kind of pressuring you to do it. Think about it. Think about the message first. Don't take action on it, and most of the time, just go with your gut. If you think it's something that your boss doesn't really ask for, um, call the boss. Make sure that you're taking these measures to protect your information.
Got it. Got it. And what happens if I click on one of those emails?
So let's say you got an email, you clicked on the link or the attachment. One of the things that could happen is that email can run a program on the background where it either steals your information, emails that you have gone back and forth with clients, sensitive information, or you can also, the program can also run a script, so it grabs all your contacts from your email and then start mass sending the same email to your contacts. um, what happens there, like Shawn, it takes you years to build your business reputation, but then if you clicked on an attachment, it takes you a second, and within that second you can ruin that reputation because you didn't have the right protection. So
Right, right. And then so how's that any different? For instance, I was on a Zoom call 2 weekends ago, and it got hacked, and someone went in and they did some put some crazy videos and wrote some nasty stuff in the comments.
wow.
And how would they have infiltrated that Zoom network? Would it come through like the emails? Maybe stealing the email or hacking into that, or did they just like actually go into the Zoom portal and hack that system?
It's that's a great question. It could be different possibilities. It could have been that that Zoom meeting was um public, or like if they had the link, they can just go into the Zoom meeting. They could have stole maybe the email that went back and forth with that person inviting the other person and just got the code from there. It's a lot of possibilities that could have caused that attack, but a lot of the times it does happen, and they steal the information from maybe just the emails themselves. So
Understood. And what measures can we take? So we talked about the email stuff with the phishing and the phishing, and what was the malware? Like what measures and actions can we take to to understand it and prevent that from happening for someone from clicking on that?
yeah, so um, don't really want to talk too much tech because I know I'll bore you guys, but just know that like an email system, the first protection of an email system is the anti-spam. Just think of that as like a water filter. It filters the stuff that it doesn't need, and then it keeps the stuff that it's good. Same thing with an email system. It's trying to prevent malicious emails going to your inbox, but just like any other system, it's not perfect. So it's not going to detect all of the emails that are good and all of the emails that are bad. Um, what happens there is, if let's say I put the level higher than it is, so that it basically blocks more emails. Now the person's gonna get maybe less emails, and some of those emails that the person really wanted are probably going to spam. So the way to protect yourself like adding the other layer of security is if you implement something like an advanced threat protection. Um, what that does is, let's say, you got a phishing email or a spam email. It went through the spam filter and it got to your inbox. Now you can click on the attachment that the email has, but what the intelligence behind the advanced threat protection does is it actually looks at that attachment. So it puts it on like let's say on an empty room. It scans the attachment or the link, and then once it finds that the attachment is safe, then it puts it on your inbox so that you can open it up. So that is one way that companies are taking the measures to better protect the email system. Um, Another way is, and this can be done, most of the email systems have, is um, doing a two-factor authentication.
Right.
So what that means is, and we have seen it more and more nowadays that, systems are implementing this, but aside from your password, adding the second layer where it sends a code to your email or to your phone. Um, what happens there is, let's say that they got your password for some reason. Most of the time, they're not gonna have your physical phone so that they can put the code. So you're basically, although they have your password, you're still protected because they don't have your physical phone with them. So
So
um,
would you recommend, Danny, that, like, so for instance, most of my accounts that I and we have set up is we'll put our password in, our information, and then we'll have to send ourselves a text so that we can authenticate through the text messaging. So it's a two-way thing. So you can't just get in through the one option. You have to you have to put two codes in order to get into the system. So is that something that you recommend that seems to work very well?
yes, that is like, if you don't have an IT expert that can help you with the advanced threat protection, that should be your number one. Do the multi-factor because it's very easy to do. Just get it done, and you're basically, it could be 50% right now. If you do the multi-factor, you're gonna turn that protection a lot higher than just 50%.
Got it, got it. So
Um,
for everybody that's listening out there, it's annoying. It's really annoying to have to put
it
it
is.
in twice, but it really protects you. So for the business owners, very important because, like Danny mentioned, it takes you forever to build your reputation and a split second to lose it because there's sensitive information that's being held and maybe getting out on your watch. But I just I think personally it's very important. And so on a personal side as well, it's not worth risking your identification being lost or out there in the cyber world either. So just make that sacrifice, in my opinion. Again, I'm no tech expert, but just from a practical standpoint, I think it's super important to try to follow these methods. Um, all right, Danny. So we've identified we now we understand the emails that are coming through. We're understanding what the threat looks like, right? And now we've identified, like, really how to solve that problem and to fix it. So now how do we know that it's working?
Yeah, so it's it's very tough in the security world to really test something if it's working, because you don't really want to test it on a phishing email because you don't know what that's going to cause. Um, so there's tools out there, like the intelligence advanced threat protection, that actually does that for you. So it actually will test to make sure how effective it is. Um, and also, like, if you don't have that person, like, let's say you're trying to set up the multi-factor authentication. Um, Try to log into the email. Look, if you set it up, try to log into the email, and then if you try to log in, they know the password, but it asks you for the two-factor code, and it goes to your phone. That's a way for you to test that piece of it. So that's a very easy process for the multi-factor. For phishing emails, it gets a little bit more complicated, because I'm not gonna say, hey, just implement this advanced threat protection, and then if you get a phishing email, just click on it, because you don't really want to do that. So you kind of do need an expert to kind of walk you through that process. Um, so yeah, it's kind of tough to say like how to test that piece.
Okay. And then so like but like are there any scans that you can do on your computer and such, like, on a routine basis to scan for like viruses and the malware that we talked about? Or is that something that, I guess from an enterprise level, from a corporate level, that would be something that would be sort of embedded to your total solution? But like, what could you do to make those scans? Like, what do you guys do to scan our computers to make sure that we're safe? Because you'll tell me, like, you'll be able to see, like, you guys watch and if someone's trying to get in. And I don't know how you do it, but there's some way that you notify us.
Yeah,
And then, or we'll email, like, I've got from now our entire team. If we get an email that looks like unfamiliar, we just immediately forward it to you guys, for you to review it. And then we also put some measures in place, Danny, where we had I forget what the response is, where it's like, don't open this email. I think you put on there and you highlighted it in yellow. Like, tell us a little bit about that, and, like, the scans, and then what other procedures you can put into place to kind of help remind us not to open those types of emails.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, so for us, like for our clients, what we're doing is we're implementing these alerts, all these types of alerts, that if we find that somebody's receiving a lot of emails all at once, we know there's a problem. So we get alerted right away, so that we can take action and see, how to stop those things. Um, so also, like, you were talking about the antivirus and the protection, that is something that we're doing on the background. So like, it's on a daily basis, is scanning your computer just to make sure there's nothing bad out there. Um, but if it finds something, like if, let's say, somebody clicked on a link, they didn't know it was bad, and it tried to run a program, we're gonna get an alert as well, just saying, hey, somebody tried to open up a program, look into it, and then we'll take action, call the employee, and try to figure out what happened from there. I think so what I was going to mention earlier was, although you might have all these systems in place, and I can tell you, hey, get this system, get this other system, you're never going to be 100% secure. What I would recommend is spend that time to train your employees, because at the end of the day, um, your employees are the ones that are either going to click on something that's bad.
Right.
Um, so I would say, do that employee awareness. What we do on our end and provide to our clients is, um, we run through this campaign, and on monthly, quarterly, we'll just send a random email. And it's kind of like simulating a phishing email. And if the employee clicks on the phishing email, we'll get those reports on, like, who's actually more susceptible to a phishing email,
Hmm.
and from there we can take action. We'll talk to the business owner and say, hey, these 5 people, let's train them on what would happen if they actually clicked on a real phishing email. So yeah.
Got it. And so we have about 5 more minutes. One thing that I wanted to talk about, we're past protecting your system and stuff, but one thing, Danny, the passwords, right? I know lots of times we'll put our passwords, I don't know, like on a Word document or something like that, or in Excel, put it on your network or store it to your desktop or something like that. But there are different vaults and systems that you can put that information in that's very secure. What's your thought on that? And what's your recommendation on how we protect our passwords? Because we have so many apps and so much information out there that we have to get access to.
Yeah, that's a great question. Definitely have a password management system in place. Um, the reason for that, we're humans. We're not going to remember 100 passwords, 10 passwords. And if we try to remember those passwords, we're going to try to make it easier on ourselves and try to kind of use the same combination of passwords or even the same password for all the systems. So what happens there is, let's say, you have been trying to be secured, but you've used that same password on multiple systems, and one of those systems got hacked. And they compromise one of those passwords. Now that bad person can potentially have access to all your other systems if they try to log into those systems. So password management system is the way to go. I personally don't remember any of my passwords. All I have to remember is one password, and I get into all my systems. Some people can go against that, and they could say, hey, but what if they got that one password? Could they access all of my information? Well, I also have on my password management system two-factor authentication.
That's
So
right.
like it's harder on myself, like you said, Shawn. Like, more security is more frustrating for you because now you have to have your phone all the time. But it's definitely protecting me, protecting my clients, because although it's that one password, they never have access to my phone, so it's always secure.
That's awesome, Danny. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today. I'll ask you. You can go. You can also stay on the line after we finish, because I have to ask you a couple of questions. But
Awesome.
any parting words for us? We're still. I don't know. Have you guys opened up yet where you live? But I know the state has kind of opened up a bit, but our county is still largely shelter in place. So, like, do you have any parting words for the people that are listening that are anxious to, get back to doing what they were doing, and this, new normal is what I think I hear them calling it.
No, I know it's hard for everybody. Everybody's going through the same issues. It's funny because like we have vendors from all over the world. We talk to them. Sometimes, like when it's snowing here, like they're not affected. But it's funny because when we talk and all of this started happening, like we can actually relate to something because we're all together on this and we're gonna get through it together. Um, just try to stay positive. It sometimes it's hard because like for me, I'm constantly at home. This is where my office is. It's I do everything here, so sometimes I don't even go outside because I'm so concentrated on working and stuff like that. But if you get to the point where you feel down, do the things that you love, do the things that make you happy. Listen to music, watch some videos, get you motivated, and yeah, we'll
So
get through this together.
cool, cool. So, Dan, your next thing is a motivational speaker. It sounds like. No, that's awesome. Yeah, like I said, see everybody, he's always upbeat, and I don't know what he's talking about being down. But so my parting words is always, if there's anything that we can do to help you, just let us know. The goal is to always to connect you with our network and provide resources for you to be better. And so the biggest thing is to have a plan. Planning is so important. That's the reason why a lot of these folks that I know are coming on these calls, because in order to achieve your destiny and find your purpose and such, you have to have a plan and know how you're going to get there. And so for Fortis Mortgage, Danny was a part of our plan, like in regards to our IT infrastructure and security. So I hope everybody has a great day. I hope this information is continuing to help people. And please just reach out if you have any questions. Stay safe and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shawn.